Who have I got there? I see there's somebody waiting. So, hi. Welcome to Inktober. We're looking at 25. Day 25 is dangerous. Dangerous. So let's see what picture I've got for that. I can't remember which one I got. Dangerous. No. It's something very obvious, I think. Ah, yes. This festival is the fourth most dangerous in Japan. So, I'm gonna get my Etchr paper ready. Ba-ding. And I'm gonna start drawing, I suppose. Welcome anybody who is there. Let's get stuck in over here. I think I might not do too much detail in my pencil sketch. I do have work later and I'd like to save myself some time, but also I think it'd be cool to add more of the detail in pen. The crowd isn't too complicated, I don't think. I'm going to show you how to do a crowd without stressing. And then we've got to try and create fire, which is going to be quite interesting. Got an idea of how we could do that. Okay, we've got a rabbit in the middle of this. This is all made of food and it all gets burned at the end of the festival in March. Some fire is going here. Trees are back there. There's a lantern in the foreground. Yeah, kind of in the foreground over here. I'm using the Inktober prompts and a selection of my own pictures from my life in Japan to create a nice set of 31 different images. A really special set, I think, personally. Right, people are much smaller in the background. This is how we're going to start conveying, a bit smaller than that, the crowd, just by showing people at different heights. We've also got some dice over here. Those dice are pretty iconic for this festival. People taking pictures back there. Draw their little legs in. I'm literally just drawing stick people. So anyone who says I can't draw people, I can only draw stick people. Haha! It's still worth it. It's still useful. Those people are stood up on a ledge, actually, by the looks of it. And then standing down, there's a police officer, believe it or not. They do exist at Japanese festivals, even though the festivals are really dangerous and the health and safety is nil to minimum. And many have got cameras. People heads, people bodies. There you go, not too much effort. And then people in the foreground will look a bit different. Tree is happening back there. Tree is happening over here. That ledge has got another person on it at the back over there. And then there's people in the crowd, even around the fire. I'll add their faces in a bit more detail after. For now, I'm just going to do some stick figures. Just doing little circles and then shoulders, basically. They look like pins. And these circles are bigger, which is showing that the crowd is closer. Whereas over here, we've got many tiny little circles. Super, super small. Bigger, and then you can see detail on some. Some have got masks on. Over here, there's a flag. There we go. Hi, Kimberly. Thanks for watching my videos, lovely. I haven't replied yet, but I saw your comment, and I'm really happy I can take you, so to speak, without giving you anxiety. You still get to experience it. And in fact, I might argue that if I did a live, you'd probably still feel quite anxious, because I would have to squish between all of the crowds more often, you know? So I hope it was a good, happy medium. How are you? I'm happy to have one person here. I've been talking to myself so far. Definitely not my favourite activity. Some people it comes very naturally. For me, I'd rather not be chatting to myself. You know what? In the pencil sketch, with these being swirly, it actually looks quite cool. It's quite a cool style. It's not really the style of the pieces that I've made so far, so I'm not gonna avidly stick to it. But it does look cool, I think. There we go. That is my sketch for this one. So we're going to get that little glove on. Sketch in 7 minutes is pretty good going. Get this little glove on just so that my hands slide over my artwork, which will easily shake my pen up, get the ink down to the base. Let it run out first onto the tissue paper. I'm going to add in the details. I'm going to start over by this lantern. I'm going to add the details that I want to show up most clearly first. Yeah. Perfect video for enjoying without anxiety. I'm in a bit of discomfort managing. Oh, I'm glad you're managing, but it's a tough thing, isn't it? I've had a strange old week that's featured a lot of sleep. More than you'd think you'd need, but my body has been, well, it's just been my time of the month, but sometimes it can really knock you. And it did knock me a lot. Also, my eye condition's been really bad. Not for any particular reason, sadly. Like, I'm very certain it's allergy related these days, because more than enough sleep, not many screens, hardly any aircon. So I just think it's some kind of allergy. But yeah, even Sunday, I spent the entire day in bed after I did the live streams. There's loads of stuff I was meant to do. Try not to think about all the things I was meant to do or wanted to do. Just think, look, body said recover, so I recovered. What a lovely lantern. There we go. Can I add this kanji to here? Kind of. Little flagpole over here. Sorry. Yeah, I got some eye drops, but you wouldn't believe it, Kimberly. Monday, while I was at work with a perfectly healthy eye, out of nowhere, my eye turned full Halloween red. It was pretty shocking. My students were quite worried about me. And while I was at work, my eye, well, generally, my eye felt fine. It just looked really bad. And then as it was coming towards the end of my shift, it also started to feel bad. And then all of yesterday, even when I was trying to do the live stream, my word, it just was red and smaller, and it was really strange. Now, a year ago, the doctor told me not to use this allergy eye bath, but I was using, I tried using some eye drops for dryness, preservative free, so they're just they're single use ones. This is what the doctor back in the UK recommended. So I bought more because I've been using those. They don't really do anything, but they help with what has become dry eyes. In the beginning, people on Hago were saying, "Oh, you've got dry eyes, you've got dry eyes," and I said, "I'm really sorry, but it is not that." And I was right; it was not that, and that is not what my doctor gave me medicine for. However, in the last 3 months, 4 months, it's changed into dry eyes after about a year of it being light sensitivity, which is really strange. But I also thought no one has told me it's anything like conjunctivitis, which I think Americans call pink eye, and it hasn't looked like that either. But I thought I'll get that just in case, because the doctor said next time you get the problem, go and see in Japan if it's bacterial or allergy related. And so I decided to get some preservative free something for conjunctivitis. But that did absolutely nothing too. In fact, it just stung a little bit. So I really don't think it's that at all. And then I used the eye bath that Japanese doctor told me not to use, because I still have it here with the allergy stuff. And it's the only thing that made it feel better. The only thing, feel and look better. So, you know, glad I had it still. Glad I didn't get rid of it just because they said don't use it. And since I used it, my eye has just been much better, full stop. So, sounds like an allergy, don't you think? I'm sorry you have endo. I've got lots of friends with that, and it sounds awful. Luckily, I don't have that, but I can imagine the pain. Sadly, it must be really something. It really so many people, if they see my eye problem, the first thing they say to me is, "You should go to the doctor." It really pisses me off. It pisses me off so much because it totally disregards whether or not I've actually been to the doctor. Like, ask me if I've been. Don't tell me to do something that I've done multiple times and I'm in communication with a doctor. You know? What's with people not asking questions before telling people what to do? I really don't understand. It's annoying. Drawing in some people around here, a couple more details here and there. Thanks for agreeing with the person that has the problem. You know, like if you tell someone all of your symptoms, they can diagnose you as much as they like, but you're the one that knows what you got. You're the one that knows what it feels like. Yeah, it's an allergy to something in Japan because I'm telling you, the places I thought I was going to be really not okay were on the airplane when I went back to the UK. And you know, potentially in Dubai, for example, because it's not my home city, home anything. But I was totally fine. I was fine in these places. So, is all I could do, all I could think. Trying to do some details of the tops of people's faces here. Thanks. Hi, hi Rebecca. Nice to see you. How are you doing, lovely? I think there might be a Sarah watching in the background somewhere too. So hello to you and the girls. Trying to add crowd detail without adding absolutely everybody here. So what I've been doing, because if I go to the doctor is annoying me between 9 and 12 each day, and there's no point me going if I don't have the problem. But if I have a week or something where it's really bad, what I've got as backup is 2 months worth of photographs now of the issues that I've had since I've been back from the UK. And even when I was in the UK, I had no evidence in my eyes. All I could do was show the nice lady pictures because there just was no problem. She did every possible test going, and she said my eyes are in great condition, and also my sight is really good, because other people were just telling me boldly that I needed glasses, to me gesturing rudely at them, saying, "Be quiet." I've not mentioned a sight problem. I was getting blurry eyes because of it, but I think only because my eyes were so stressed. You're really well. Good. Yeah, isn't that lantern yummy? Can't really see the detail in this live stream unless you can better on yours. I've had that a lot too. I have a few chronic pain and illnesses, and my doctor tried to tell me I didn't have endo and tried to fight for a diagnosis. And you had to fight for a diagnosis. People often know more about what's going on with their body, don't they just? So, to be honest, like, I sympathize with doctors. They do have a difficult job because if they can't see every little thing that you've got going on, you know, it is absolutely sod's law that when you've got the problem is not when you've got your doctor's appointment. And so it is really difficult. And they don't want to diagnose someone the wrong way and misuse possible treatment plans, or even, you know, every medicine we have will cause us some kind of reaction generally for everyone. So it's a tricky job. And for me, I can't plan to go to the opticians and then wake up in the morning and my eyes fine. What am I going to do? What are they going to do with that? Nothing. Nothing. Sorry, everyone. You've walked into Health Watch. We're also doing Inktober, of course. The day is dangerous. So I've got this picture from a very dangerous festival I went to this year. Sorry, the word of the day. Trying to convey hair and things, I think is going pretty well. You can pop a little ear in there sometimes, or a little bit of a neckline. That helps it to look like people. I don't know if you can see what I've done just there. Bit of an ear and a neckline. Yeah, that's true. Endometriosis is really hard to get diagnosed. And you've got to responsibly, keep a log for yourself. It's the only real proof you have to yourself too, to be honest. Because feeling like we're in pain and knowing when it actually happened can be quite different, because when we're in pain, it's really hard to focus sometimes. These little people faces are going quite well, I think. Yeah, liking these people faces. Camera person. Camera person wearing a mask. It was March, so quite a lot of people were still wearing masks, to be honest. Let me think. Oh, we got some people with no hair on top. They're going to look a little bit like a kappa. Someone over here, mask on and camera in the sky. I mean, I have my camera in the sky. Got to get a night bus for the next 2 nights. My mum is also my full-time carer, and she was the one who put me through it, as I wanted to give up after a really horrible doctor, and she didn't let me. Yes, mummy. Nice work, mummy. 3 cheers for mummy. Yeah, I know many people. It's crazy how many people I know who've got it. But to be fair, I guess I do know a lot of people. But yeah, they've almost given up a lot of times. But the people around them haven't really understood. So I think they pretty much had to fight for themselves. And some of them are even wheelchair bound. I don't know about yourself, Kimberly, but yeah, they're wheelchair bound as a result of things like that, or the things that come with it, or it can, I don't want to say compliment, but a person can expect to find certain conditions come together, perhaps. Okay, where are we at? 25-minute mark. I think we're doing all right. There's a lot of people with no hair on top. Now, in these gaps, we'll paint. We'll kind of paint randomness, stylish blurs of color. So I don't have to worry too much about crazy amounts of detail here. I swear this pen is going to need to top up. I think I might top it up before the next one. I'm going to do 2 on Friday. Do some random blurs there. I hope I encourage a few people to start drawing crowds and things. I know it can be quite an intimidating thing, but I think it's quite fun. It's not as hard as one might think. I mean, like, I do have practice and things, so obviously it's easier for me. Don't compare your abilities to someone who is clearly drawn the thing they're talking about multiple times before. These silhouettes over here are just that, just silhouettes, not much detail at all. There's a kind of hint of fire in through this gap, so I think that should be a really fun thing to paint when it comes to it. That'll just be kind of orange in that gap. Hints of people's clothes through here. This style of drawing today is hurting my hand a little bit. And then the direction of people's hair and faces is going to change a little bit on this one because of what they're looking at. So try and pay attention to that. So the little white part that marks where their face is going to go is changing direction a little bit. Like I always say, you're not showing your reference picture alongside your artwork, so don't stress about whether or not it looks just like it. You are the beholder of an artistic license, so you make it look however you want. And the sooner you get used to your artwork being inspired by what you're looking at, the sooner you'll start to generate your own styles and things. So there's a lot to be said for not copying exactly, in my humble opinion. I actually love a picture with a crowd in it. Who came on this live stream? That person looks a bit like a pumpkin. And another person behind it, so it looks a bit less pumpkin-y. Women are too tough and dismissed by doctors, that's true. I probably won't get to watch much the next few days. I'm doing overnights work with the kids. I have friends that have endo and they were the ones with it who told me about it. Looked into it and was convinced I had it. I'm housebound but not in a wheelchair, but I have several friends with similar issues. Oh, I like seeing this photo translated into black and white. Thanks. Rebecca, it is my Wednesday now, my Wednesday morning. I'm on a night bus for the next 2 nights. I'm going to Fuji-Q Highland in the cheapest possible way I can get there. And I won't be doing this. Basically, I'm not doing this again for the next 48 hours, so that might help you in regards to. In fact, I'm not doing this for the next 52 hours, so maybe you won't miss so many as you think. And they'll be at different times. They'll be in American nighttime. Some of the next ones. They're in the list of times on the live section of my channel. Oh, this crowd scene reminds me of the robot drawing from iRobot. Curious. Right, we've got fire here. I'm not drawing it in with too much detail. We're going to draw that in with paint, aren't we? Right, but I do have to try and get curves all the way around this. Yeah, I don't think you'll miss so much as you think. Little rabbit in the middle. It was quite scary. You can see the whole rabbit burn. The idea is not to see a rabbit burn though, don't worry. You just do because it's the design. So if the design is getting burned, then yeah, the rabbit is going to burn at some point. I'm kind of not looking forward to 2 nights on a night bus because me and my friends do not have much money at all. I'm not even sure I'm getting to the next payday. So we've booked the cheapest night buses, and they're kind of just like day buses, but maybe not even as comfortable. So yeah, no luxury there. But I'll get to show some friends a part of Japan they've never been to, so that'll be cool. And with any luck, see Mount Fuji. Some little detail. I know this was made of seeds, so I'm taking some liberties and adding my own little details in there. I realised I didn't use black pen on yesterday's one, a thicker one. Ooh, I like that. Rebecca says, every time you say night bus, I think of Harry Potter. Well, we're going to have 2 Brits and an American girl who lived in the UK for 5 years. So pretty much is going to have them Harry Potter vibes. Sometimes when I'm drawing, I hold my breath. I'm like, I forgot not to hold my breath. Trying to do tiny little people back here now because they're stood on the back. So some of them are getting their legs in there. Some of them are still getting masks. One of them can have a handbag. They're standing on the wall. Some of them are holding their arms up. I'll see if I can convey that in a small way. Literally, I was going to say. This is definitely going to be one to take a look at on Instagram. So do take a look at instagram.com/Miss Kendal James if you want to see this close up 10 minutes after I finish, or less than that even, probably. We'll see how distracted I get. Yeah, I love it. I think this one is looking really smart, to be honest. And yeah, you can say that about your own artwork. You can say, I think my artwork is looking good. And people can say, that's not very modest of you. And you can stick as many fingers up at them as you like. Because we're going to teach our children to recognize when they've done well. We're going to teach our friends to recognize when they've done well. We're going to encourage people to do their best and to recognize when their best was done. Are we not? Are we not, my friends? So screw modesty. There's a time, there's a place. It's probably when you live in Japan. So if I'm still being not modest, then it's fine. Those are the rules. Thanks. Right, we're going to get some trees in. We know how to draw trees now, right? Don't we? Everyone's been learning how to draw trees with me. 1 second, we'll get one more person in over here. You're all dab hands at drawing trees now, aren't you? Look at all those lovely people. All the people. So many people. And they all go hand in hand. Hand in hand and arm in arm. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Honestly, even I don't know when I'm going to start singing. Or what I'm going to start singing. A little stool over there. Get a little stool in. Right, I like that. Trees. We're going to do the thing we do for trees. We're going to start from the base and point up. They are going to look scatty. These trees are winter trees. So they definitely... Do you see what I'm doing? Start from the base and push up. I hope I don't ruin my pen doing it with these ones. These are particularly all over the place. There's a couple that I just... trunks in the background. Trunks in the background are going to get drawn like that. There's some kind of foliage that's got shape back there. Not loads of it. Okay, winter trees. Push up. I'll give my pen a massage later to thank it for its hard work. I always enjoy the random singing and changed lyrics. I love changing lyrics, especially to really make it relevant to a day or a time or a place. It's like, I don't know, it's like a verbal and vocal exercise, because a lot of people, I think, couldn't do it. So I think it's interesting. Also, I really don't know what will come out. lots of little details. So we spike outwards to make all the little spindly bits on a tree. There we go, spindly tree. Looking pretty good, I think. There we go. And then big tree over here. Big tree is going to be a little bit different because there's hints of larger trunk areas. So I'm just going to do some larger trunk areas. Well, there's just loads of larger trunk areas actually. So I'm going to do that jolty thing that I do so it gets kind of jaggedy edges. Start from the base and pull outwards. But yeah, they're kind of all over the place, these little branches. When I go to karaoke, I like dramatically changing the lyrics because people don't expect it coming. They expect it to be coming. It usually gets some laughs. And that's the best medicine. There's some kind of bright light over there. I'm going to do a kind of circle. And then I'm gonna convey that bright light like this. I think that looks like light. One of the Inktober prompts was bare branches, and I got to do what you taught me. Yay! Yay! So even though maybe the quality isn't excellent, you're still working out what I'm doing, yeah? You can still see that pushing from the base, pushing upwards, or holding it a little bit towards the edge and allowing the branches to arrive in this kind of jolty way, recognizing that all branches, all twiggy bits stem from that main branch, right? The only way you can learn these things is if someone teaches you, or if you go out and you start drawing things, and over time you're like, that doesn't really look like what I'm looking at, but I like the style, so I'll do it like that. Or you think, that doesn't look like what I'm looking at, I'll change it. Yeah, it looks more like this. And you start to develop your own techniques for creating some really cool pieces. Right, and so in this piece, there's a kind of haze around here in the picture because of the fire, so it's changing the light on the trees. So to help that shine through more, I'm not going to draw every detail of the trees here because I think it'll just look too crowded and a bit strange. So even though these ones are a bit clearer than the ones on the outside, I'm going to kind of draw tiny little lines to show off the ones on the outside. And then in between it can be painted in this kind of fuzzy way. So that's what's happening. There we go. And it's a cheat code, basically. Who wants to draw every single branch? No, I don't. My eyes can't see that when I'm out and about. So no, I don't want to draw that. Unless I'm doing some kind of exercise in torture or patience. Which are one and the same, are they not, my friends? All right, I think I'm liking it like that. There are a couple of areas where it's just very dark back there, and I do like a bit of shading for balance. So let me add some dark areas at the back, but without too much consideration for where they're coming from. Right, bear with me, just covering it over quite a lot right now. After my first one, I did a little tutorial, didn't I, on how to draw trees, because that person called Darren asked. He was so kind after he sent me a tip as well, which was really lovely. Really kind. And I think he's come on 1 or 2 other times. I don't know how he discovered me, but I'm happy he did. It's a kind addition to our chats when he's been around. Yeah, if anyone else wants to leave a tip, please go to buymeacoffee.com/Miss Kendal Jones. And the same if you want to check out my Instagram to see this close up after, you can do that as well. And if you want to see what else I make, please go on to, for example, Etsy or linktr.ee/Miss Kendal Jones, and you'll see the other things that I make and do too. And please check out my other videos. There's lots of other videos I've been making, working real hard on, and your comments and your likes and everything are real motivation. So if you're wanting more, please keep those comments coming. It makes me feel like I'm not just shouting at an empty space. So please keep it up. Thank you. And if you think one of my videos is worth it, please do share it with a friend that's interested in Japan or interested in art or something else, because I'm not getting wild amounts of reach on my videos, but they deserve wild amounts of reach. Yeah, I know that isn't a very modest thing to say, but screw it. They do deserve more airtime. So please do help out if you feel up to it, or if you know the right place to put something I've made or done. Here we go. We got a little bit of shadow here and there. There you go, and leaving it like that, I think. I say famous last words. I do want something a little darker in there. Maybe some of the people that are in the foreground, they can have a little, we can have an extra outline. And maybe, just maybe, you want to be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. Need to draw pretty good. It helps that you talk us through while you draw. That's fabulous. I have one downloaded, so watch when I can. Lovely. I just put another one on to complement that one I did the other day, and there's yet more coming. But my golly gosh, it takes a long time, guys. My gosh of gollies. Right, let's erase some of these thingies. There is something I'd like to say to you, but I don't know how. So maybe. Okay, let's go in there. We're doing our outline. This outline is going to tie all my pieces together beautifully, even if I drew totally different things. A little trick for you there if you're new to drawing and you want to bring it all together. These are self-taught aspects of my creativity. Self-taught through practice. One of my students yesterday, they said they've just started at Nova, the company I work for, English language school. And they said, oh, how fast can I learn English? And I said, well, if you're coming to one of these lessons, 40 minutes a week, you will learn English very slowly. And she was like, oh no. And I said, yeah. And the truth is that if you play guitar once a week for 40 minutes, you will learn to play guitar very slowly. And she went, that's true. And I said, see, if you want to get English in your life, if you want to get a new language in your life, you're gonna have to do it relentlessly. You're gonna have to find ways to bring that language into your life. You're gonna have to listen to music. You're gonna have to watch a YouTube video. You're gonna have to do some stuff weekly that involves that language. Right, just got my signature in there. And I'm gonna write day, and that language can be drawing too. Day number 25 in the Inktober household. I want to give it a thick underneath there. Well, a huge thank you to Kimberly and Rebecca, and if there's a Sarah watching, a huge thank you to you guys for keeping me company, because otherwise it's a lonely old world and I might as well be doing it while watching Netflix if no one else is going to interact. So thank you so much. That might sound mean. You don't like my style? Don't watch my videos. If you do like my style, please hang out. You're welcome into the club. Let's be friends. And yeah, I hope I've encouraged you to do something you wouldn't normally do. As long as that's not like trolling a British girl on YouTube. Then I hope I've helped. Just added a little line to yesterday to kind of bring some of the pieces of art together. And here we go. Here's today's piece. It's dangerous. I hope you'll agree. It looks stonkingly dangerous. Thank you so much. And please check it out on Instagram shortly. If you want to catch some of my other pieces from last year, you can buy some of them on Etsy now. So please do check them out. They are original pieces and part of Hago history, to be honest. So please consider that. There are also some new products on my Etsy shop, so do check them out. They're new to you, but from my time in the UK when I used to paint and draw maps. And if some people buy them, I'll put some more things on there. And also, you'll help me eat food. So thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.